You know, ladies and gentlemen, when we see a new story going around involving a male competing in women's sports, and we all know it happens way too often, but when we see a new one going around, a lot of people say, me included, the women, the girls involved, should say enough is enough. Refuse to compete, take a stand, because whilst it's great people raise awareness on these situations, at some point, the people involved are also going to have to take action, and that's what we have today. And this story should be inspiration for all girls and women out there, because a group of girls in West Virginia decided to step out of a track and field meet because of a biological male that was also competing. Yeah. Now, before I get into this one, if you could, as always, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description, and Outkick have reported. Exclusive: West Virginia girls step out of track and field meet to protest transgender competitor, as they should. On Tuesday, a United States Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that a West Virginia law that bars biological boys from competing on girls' sports teams cannot be enforced with regard to a 13-year-old who competes on the girls' track and field team at the athlete's middle school. The defendants cannot expect that this athlete will countermand his social transition, his medical treatment, and all the work he has done with his schools, teachers, and coaches for nearly half of his life by introducing himself to teammates, coaches, and even opponents as a boy, Judge Toby Haytons wrote in his decision, according to the Associated Press. So let me get this straight. No one should expect a boy to compete in the right category, but should expect all girls just to be accepting and tolerant of it all. How does that make any sense just because of one individual? Then again, you know, it is 2024. Nothing does make sense. It's important to note that this ruling does not impact the West Virginia law. It only applies to the individual in this particular case, since the individual began transitioning in 3rd grade prior to hitting puberty. However, the ruling does potentially pave the way for other similar cases. On Thursday, several girls stepped out during a meet to protest the inclusion of a transgender girl at the center of this case. Several members of one of the girls' shot put teams stepped in and then stepped out to protest the inclusion of a transgender athlete in the meet. The transgender athlete competes in both shot put and discus throwing. When each of the Lincoln girls had her name called up to compete, she stepped into the ring, but instead of throwing the shot, she stepped down and refused to participate. They did the same for the discus event as well. I mean, wow, what a story. First and foremost, the boy involved that forced these girls to stop participating at this event started transitioning in 3rd grade. Now, as far as I'm aware, that's when you're around 8 or 9 years old. The fact that came around at that age is pretty insane. How a boy who's 8 or 9 can sit there and say, you know what, I'm a girl now, and everybody goes along with it. Yeah, a lot of questions have to be asked there. I assume the parents had something to say about that, but now they're 13 and not only have they socially transitioned, but they're also on medication. And this is what I say when, you know, reaffirming somebody not only affects the people around them, but it hurts the individual as well, because you have now pushed them down the road that is going to be very detrimental to their mental health. I mean, they're already experiencing mental health issues, and now they're making things worse. Instead of getting them the right help, addressing things properly, you know, we all just had to clap and cheer when an 8 or 9-year-old suddenly decides they're the opposite gender. They must constantly be reaffirmed, and it reaches the point where they get put on medication. Anyway, the girls involved refused to participate. They stepped into the ring and then stepped back out. Great to see. Here is the viral footage that is going around of these girls taking a stand. Take a watch. This is what we should be seeing every time this happens. These are young girls, and they've taken more initiative than grown adults out there. And I'm going to assume as well, the parents are raising them the right way, because to have this mindset at a young age, the mindset of, right, there's a guy in my sport here, I'm not going to compete. That's not coming from a school. They're definitely not teaching that. But regardless, these girls deserve to be applauded. And who knows, could this be a sign that the culture is slowly but surely starting to turn around a little bit? And with younger generations, that would be great to see. According to one of the girls who stepped out, the transgender athlete won the shot put event during the championships. Wow, so stunning, so brave, everybody clap. Riley Gaines, host of the Gaines for Girls podcast on Outkick, shared her thoughts on the girls refusing to compete against a transgender opponent. It's a sad day when the middle school girls have to be the adults in the room. Conceding your event is so much easier said than done, but these girls have the tenacity and ability to stand their ground, Gaines said. I couldn't be more proud of their bravery and willingness to show their raw emotion. Girls and women have had enough. Hey, look, man, I think everybody has had enough of this. People with common sense anyway. Nobody wants to see this go on and on and on and on. But naturally, of course, it is going to be more frustrating for women and girls. And she's correct. Some women and girls have had enough. And she's also correct when she says it's a sad day when the middle schoolers have to be the adults in the room. It's got to be the, sixth story now I've reported on in 2 weeks or so. That's quite a lot. And there's more out there I haven't even spoken about. So for these woke leftists, liberals who still, at this point, they say, oh, it doesn't exist. It's a non-issue. Yeah, they actually say that. Well, it does happen. And you know what? Once is enough. It shouldn't be happening at all. But I do think, and this is going to be the last point I make, because I do think I'm losing my voice a little here. If more girls, more women refuse to compete, the wins for the male athletes would start to feel a lot more hollow, because they wouldn't get the sense of achievement from beating women, which I do think is a big part. Maybe not so much for the younger athletes, but for the older ones, definitely. They know they can't beat the male competition. For example, Leah Thomas did terrible in the male side of things, crossed over, and that was that. They felt great beating all the women. Why give away? Why give someone that satisfaction? And look, I understand as well, these girls, these women, they sacrifice a lot. They put in all the work. They shouldn't have to do this. But if there is a male competing, then the competition itself is already a shambles. Why not just show these people who run the events, the people who are in charge, how wrong they are? I think everybody would like to see, an event in the future. Whenever one happens and there's a guy competing, all the girls drop out. Leave your thoughts down below regardless. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear your thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on the girls stepping in, stepping out, not competing? I'd like to know. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you are new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.